When Suzuki announced the e-Vitara, I'll be honest, I didn't see it coming. The Vitara name has been around for decades, but it's always been that humble, no-nonsense, small SUV that quietly did its job. Now, in 2025, Suzuki's turning it into something completely different, a full electric crossover. And that's kind of wild. It's like the kid next door suddenly showed up to school in a tuxedo, familiar but shockingly evolved. The e-Vitara rides on Suzuki's new global EV platform, developed partly with Toyota's electric tech influence. It's compact, practical, and aimed at the kind of buyers who don't want a massive electric SUV but still want a higher driving position and a touch of adventure. Suzuki's goal seems clear: take their affordable, reliable formula and bring it to the EV era without losing that simplicity. But the most surprising part, Suzuki's confidence. They're not just dipping a toe into electrification. The e-Vitara feels like a full commitment. You can sense it in the design language, the materials, and even in how the brand is positioning this car. It's no longer just a budget option. It's a statement that Suzuki can still evolve without losing its soul. At first glance, the e-Vitara looks unmistakably Suzuki. There's a sense of continuity. It doesn't try to reinvent the wheel. The boxy silhouette, the upright stance, and the chunky cladding all say small SUV in a very Suzuki way. But then the EV details start to pop out. A closed front grille with a subtle LED bar, clean surfaces, and modern aero touches that make it feel more futuristic than flashy. In person, it's actually pretty handsome. Not aggressive like a Kia EV6 or as tech-forward as a Tesla Model Y, but something that feels human. Like Suzuki knows who's buying this: everyday people, not tech bros. Inside, the cabin strikes a similar tone. You get a simple, driver-friendly layout, plenty of physical buttons, thank you Suzuki, and enough digital display space to feel current without being overwhelming. It's not trying to impress you with ambient lights or massive screens. It's trying to make you comfortable, and that's a refreshing approach in 2025. Sometimes minimalism done right is more impressive than over-design. Now let's talk about how it drives. The e-Vitara isn't built to set lap times or challenge Tesla's acceleration records. That's not its mission. What Suzuki focused on instead is refinement and everyday usability. The single motor setup delivers around 150 horsepower, paired with a battery pack that promises roughly 400 kilometers, 250 miles of range, depending on conditions. Behind the wheel, it feels solid, not heavy or floaty like some EVs. The steering is light but precise, perfect for city commutes, and there's enough torque to handle quick overtakes without drama. It's quiet, predictable, and easy to control, exactly what you'd expect from a Suzuki, only smoother and quieter thanks to the electric drivetrain. The ride comfort is surprisingly good too. Suzuki's suspension tuning leans more toward comfort than sport, which makes sense for its audience. It might not corner like a Mazda MX-30, but for daily use, it's honestly a pleasant companion. Here's where Suzuki's collaboration with Toyota really pays off. The e-Vitara uses a new lithium iron phosphate (LFP) battery pack, not the flashiest tech, but one that's built for durability and cost efficiency. Charging times are competitive, around 30 minutes for an 80% top-up on a fast charger. And because the e-Vitara is relatively light, it doesn't need a massive battery to achieve its range targets. In the real world, I expect most owners will get around 370 kilometers, 230 miles per charge. Not groundbreaking, but totally reasonable for the segment. The car's regenerative braking is tuned gently. It's not the aggressive one-pedal system some EVs use, which I actually prefer for smoother driving. Suzuki clearly prioritized practicality over marketing numbers here, and it shows. The battery tech is simple, proven, and designed to last. For an affordable EV, that's more reassuring than any record-breaking figure. Step inside the e-Vitara and you're greeted by a cabin that feels familiar but more refined. The seats are supportive, visibility is great, and the use of light materials helps make the cabin feel airy. You're not getting Mercedes-level luxury here, but Suzuki nailed the ergonomics and layout. Everything is within reach and feels intuitive. Rear passengers get decent legroom for a compact SUV, and the cargo space remains one of the best in its class. You can tell Suzuki didn't compromise practicality for the sake of going electric. The materials are sustainable too. Some trims use recycled fabrics, which is becoming standard practice in 2025. It's not the kind of car you'd call luxurious, but it's one you'll genuinely enjoy living with every day. Suzuki's strength has always been usability, and that DNA is still alive here. Tech-wise, the e-Vitara comes well equipped. You've got a crisp 10-inch infotainment screen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a digital cluster, adaptive cruise control, lane assist, blind spot monitoring the works. Suzuki finally caught up with the tech arms race, but in a way that doesn't feel forced. The interface is clean, the response times are quick, and best of all, you still get physical knobs for climate control. The ADAS suite works seamlessly, not overbearing like some rivals. It gives the e-Vitara that modern edge without feeling like a robot on wheels. I think that's the best way to describe it, modern but human. A car that understands tech is supposed to help you, not dominate your driving experience. After spending time with the 2025 Suzuki e-Vitara, I came away with a lot of respect for what Suzuki's done here. They didn't try to reinvent themselves overnight, they evolved. The e-Vitara feels like a natural next step, not a desperate leap into the EV world. It keeps the Vitara's spirit alive while adapting to a changing market. Sure, it's not the flashiest or the fastest EV out there, but it's approachable, well-built, and genuinely practical, and in today's overcomplicated EV landscape, that's worth a lot. Suzuki might not grab headlines like Tesla or BYD, but they've created something that'll quietly win hearts.
And maybe, just maybe, that's what real progress looks like. Not revolution, but evolution done right.